This is Dec speaking. Dec Cluskey, founder of the Serious Writers Guild, now in 52 countries. And I started Makehits all those years ago. Makehits.com, makehits.co.uk. But what have we got for you this week in music? Well, I've got a very interesting situation as regards one of the members, Serge. He's French. And he started a sort of a junior rock school sort of affair here in the UK. Very successful. He's got a lot of kids playing drums, guitars, bass, singing, doing all that. And what he wants to do is put on a showcase, a major show of all the kids in the rock school. So he's asked me to advise him on the running order. I explained to Serge that the most important point in any show or presentation is the opening. Picture yourself at Nebworth or the O2 or where Madison Square Garden is in the States. And you are like that, and whoever is the big artist, what'll happen first? The lights will go down, everybody will get excited. Probably musicians come on stage, all in the dark, and suddenly you can hear this usually big bottom end. They say, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself. You know, you've got to think in those terms. It's got to be visually great. It's got to be sound great. You know, the highs, the low, the big massive sound. Get the speakers shaking, get everybody with their trouser legs flapping from the sound. And that's the way to start it. To the actual running order. Now he sent me a load of songs that he thought were great. The kids did great. But I said to him, Serge, there's no point in doing this. You can't tell off a blank piece of paper what a running order's got to be like. I've got to see how the kids perform it, the atmosphere they create, the visuals, you know, how it's going to be staged. And then I went on to the way we put shows together these days. In the old days, we used to get a fast song, then a slow song, then a fast song, then a slow song, and then perhaps finish the whole thing with a huge ballad. The huge ballad works really well. And Coldplay last night, Glastonbury last night, they did exactly that, the big ballad to finish. Mind you, they've got incredible ballads. But nowadays, what we tend to do is create segments. So it'll be a segment of slow, luscious songs, say 2 or 3 songs. Most important point as well is never to introduce the songs. That's a big disaster area for what I call novice or amateur acts. They introduce each other, and now I'd like to sing a song which is by my favourite artist, and take a pint of water at the same time. Boring, boring, boring. Don't do that. Do sections, and then you can back announce if you want to. But most of the big acts, including my band, we just do not talk. You know, singers sing, comedians, talkers talk. End of story. Every band that you go to see in a pub, they'll spend an age introducing each other. Don't do it. And I said to Serge, don't do it. If you want to back announce, fine, if you've got to say the name of the various artists. But then make it into segments so you create atmosphere. The end of the first half, very important. Big playoff, you know, and the voiceover maybe. See you in the second half. I'm glad you enjoyed the show tonight, and wait till you see you're going to have your socks knocked off in the second half. That's the way to do it. And then the second half opens with something as exciting as the start. Why not? Then you go through, make sure the whole show finishes then with a huge ballad. That's exactly what Coldplay did last night, and it was quite astonishing. And then you must do the credits. Serge, I explained to Serge that you must do the credits. You know, the sound was by the greatest sound guy in the world, our friend George, give it up for. And the lighting was by, that's what people expect. And then get everybody out on stage at the end, is what I said to Serge. And then do the old-fashioned thing with the hands up in the air. That's what Coldplay did last night. And they went, down like this. And it was just fantastic. Did it about 4 times. The trick that I give people is to do it, walk over and do it to the left-hand side of the audience, walk up right across the stage, do it to the right-hand side of the audience, and then go to the middle and do it like to the back of the audience. And they're big, and that works. So then, once you've done that, then you must have the massive playoff, and that's end of story. So there we are. There's a great show for Serge, and maybe it's a great show for you. If you want to know any more, talk to me. Dec makehits.com, or use the blog downstairs. Use the blog downstairs. Why not? The testimonials. I keep telling you, I've got so many. But I think what I'll do in future, I'll put maybe one or two in the blog downstairs. And then the gags. I love the gags. Somebody sent me this lovely gag. An English guy driving his car in Ireland. He gets lost a bit and he winds down the window and he says, "Excuse me, could you tell me which is the quickest way to Dublin?" And the Irish guy said, "Well, will you be walking or will you be driving?" And he says, "I'll be driving." He said, "Driving. That'll be the quickest way to Dublin." See you next week. And don't forget, go on the blog. Go on the blog. It's Dec saying bye-bye. This is Dec Cluskey saying bye-bye. See you next week. Bye. Don't forget the blog.